Hello, my name is Aninka Möller and I am a fabricator. Originally when I was going to do this video, I thought I would just wing it, but it turns out my improv skills are sorely lacking. So what I've done instead is I've written down some questions which I will be answering, just to make my life a little bit easier. Okay, first question is, what is a fabricator? Essentially, a fabricator is someone that makes things for films. We work across various departments, including costume and construction and set deck and props, just to name a few. And ultimately, our goal is to make something that you probably would not be able to find in a regular shop or be able to rent from a prop company or a wardrobe facility. And the reason for that is probably because someone came up with it. This is in someone's imagination. It doesn't exist in the real world. And that's where we as fabricators will step in to make this come to life. What is your favorite part of being a fabricator? I think my personal favorite part is receiving a reference or a technical drawing or something and being able to replicate that exactly. I don't think there's anything more satisfying than seeing your work coming to life and knowing that your hands are responsible for doing that. It's a really creatively stimulating job. I particularly love sculpting and leather work. Those are probably two of my favorite things. What is the worst part of being a fabricator? Perhaps this is quite a universal complaint for anyone working in the film industry, but naturally your hours are really long. And as a fabricator, your job can be very physically taxing, especially if you're working in a department like construction, for instance. Another thing would probably be the chemicals that we work with. They tend to be quite dangerous. And if you're not careful or do not have a good knowledge of how to work with these chemicals safely and knowing what PPE to wear, you could put yourself at risk or those around you. So yeah, I think those are probably the worst parts of the job. What are important skills to have as a fabricator? The first thing that comes to mind would definitely be being a good problem solver. As a fabricator, you're gonna be put into situations that are near impossible, and you're gonna have to think on your feet and come up with creative solutions to these problems. There will be time pressures, whether this is pre-production or on set, and it definitely would be imperative for you to have a good problem-solving ability and to have a good attitude about it and to be calm under pressure. Other important skills would be probably the willingness to learn. I don't think there's a single day that I walk away from work where I don't feel like I've either absorbed something new, learned a new skill, or just watching your peers, your colleagues next to you. There's so much information that you can gain, and I don't think you can ever really stop learning as a fabricator. You never know everything. So yeah, those are probably some of the most important skills. Creativity, definitely up there. A basic knowledge of how to work with things. But these are all things that they develop the longer you're working in the industry, and as a fabricator, the more these skills will definitely develop. Which actually brings me on to the next question. Can anyone be a fabricator? 100%. I suppose my own story is probably a narrative that a lot of people share in the film industry, where I was never formally trained to be what I am today, and this is something that, as a child, I was always encouraged to work with my hands and to be creative, and I was lucky enough, I think on my 15th birthday or 16th birthday, I received a second-hand sewing machine, and then I was taking apart clothing and reassembling it and that gave me the basic sewing knowledge that got me my first job in the film industry. So I was working as an assistant in the wardrobe department, and from there on, gradually just started expanding my skill set, trying to learn things on the job, just putting myself out there, making connections, and being given the opportunity, people taking a gamble on you, and you just doing the best that you can in order to absorb as much information on the job and improve your skill set, and perhaps work a bit after hours on doing some research about chemicals once again, seeing how you can expand your skill set, and yeah, making connections, networking with people, making yourself a likable person on set. It's always so important to have a good attitude and to be a positive person to be around and to be nice to work with, because you're definitely going to have to work in teams. So yeah, definitely important. But yeah, anyone can do it, and it would be particularly amazing if we could see more women going into this workforce. It is a largely male-dominated industry. So, yeah, I think that would be my dream, is to see more young women like myself going into this career path and kick some ass, take some names. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much, guys.